Sorry for what happened yesterday. I mean,
Okay.
I generally don't use the emulator, but like yesterday, I thought I'd show you all using the emulator, and my laptop just went off because so like today I won't be using the emulator. Anyway, like I hope you installed Android Studio and like did the Kotlin part, like at least like you're a little familiar with Kotlin and how to work with it. So again, this will be the basics, like covering the second and third units in that course, basically about layouts and navigation. Um, so anyway, like this is the starting page, main activity. You can rename it to whatever you want, but like Kotlin, uh, when you start the app, like Android Studio, it just names it main activity. And on create, like as the name suggests, this is a function which is called like right when this activity is created. So basically on create, and you'll have other functions similar to on create, like on stop, on destroy, on start, like all that are like a part of activity lifecycle. um, that you'll learn more as you go along, but yeah, now for now what you need to understand is on create is something that is created right when the activity starts. And if you remember the inheritance stuff which I told last time, because main activity inherits from this thing called app compared activity, it overrides this on create function. And super on create, like as I told that day, super on create basically means the on create function which is there inside app compared activity. So that it does. Anyway, okay, let's like move on to layout and stuff. This you don't have to worry about this a lot if you don't understand it. Like you'll understand it as just as you go along with it, it'll become more clear. So this is the UI part. As I told last time, this is written in XML. I'll just tell what's written here and everything. See, so like this is a screen, right? This is your mobile screen. This like whatever you write here, like you can just check how it appears on the screen. For now, so like if you want only design, you can click here and you can only see the design part. If you want only code, this one, and if you click on split, you can see both of them. So now what I'll tell you is like you have the control of this whole screen. Like you can write here code such that you can have control over the whole screen. Now at the start, right, you have this thing called constraint layout. What this means is like the first thing we see here, like first tag, right? This one is the opening tag, and this is the closing tag. As if you know a little bit of HTML, you know this, like you open with this thing, open with the angular bracket, and you close it with this uh, backslash and the name of the same tag. So this is called as a view group. A view group, what it means is a view group. It has other children views inside it. It's like a parent view, and it can have another. It can have other children views in it, or it can have the other view groups as well as its children. So this is like the main layout which covers the entire screen. As you can see, if I click on this, like I don't know if you can see, like a blue outline over the whole screen. This blue outline as you over the whole screen, and it means that this layout uh, it encompasses the whole screen as of now. Constraint, there are different kinds of view groups. Here, by default, you get constraint layout. Constraint layout means all this, all the children views you have inside this layout, you can apply constraints to it. I'll show you what those constraints are. You can see here something called layout width. Layout width is equal to match parent. This means that the width of this view group is the same as the parent view. Here, the parent view is nothing but the whole screen. So that's why it covers the whole screen. Similarly, height match parent, it covers the whole screen. Now coming over to this, this is the child. This is called a view. A view. This is just called a view, like not view group. So, this view right now, the text view is a child of this larger view group called constraint layout. Now, text view, as the name suggests, it is used to display a text. You can see here, like now, it's showing hello world. Uh, if I change it to text view, it shows text view here. And see here, the check the difference here, like layout width and layout height, right? Here it shows wrap content. Wrap content means the height and the width of this text view, uh, it is as much as the text in this. So see, text view is this much, right? And the whole boundary is covers only this text because it is wrap content. Now if I change the wrap content to match parent, see it covers this whole screen, the height. And now if I change this as well to match parent, it covers the whole screen now. Now let's make it wrap content itself. So text means whatever text you want to write, you can include here. Text view. Now coming to constraints, right? You can see this blue color zigzag line. These are what constraints mean. So like constraint bottom to bottom means constrain the bottom of this text view to the bottom of something else. So constraint bottom to the bottom of parent means uh, this is like the bottom of text view, right? Because this is a text view, so bottom part will be this. So you're constraining this. I mean, you're adding a constraint such that this bottom is tied up to the bottom of something else, and in this case, bottom of. And since the parent is this whole screen, as you can see, you're tying up this bottom to this bottom. Similarly, constraint left to left of parent means left to the left of parent, right to the right of parent, and top to the top of parent. So now, if let's say you remove this constraint bottom to bottom of parent, right? Remove this. Now you can see it's no longer required to have any connection to the bottom, and since it's only constrained to the top, it goes back to the top. What what this constraint bottom to bottom does is it brings the text view to the middle because since you're constrained to the top as well and to the bottom, since you're constrained to top and bottom as well, the only place it can go is middle. Like you can visualize it, right? Like if something is pulling you equally from both these sides, you're going to be at the center. So that is how this works. Somewhat similar. Now, if you want to, you can like run this app. Okay, another important thing is like when you're installing Android Studio itself, there might have been like an option to set up the emulator as well. Um, if you set up that emulator, you can run it using this. There'll be like a run button here, but now since I've already run it, it's not there. But there'll be like a run button here, and you can run it. One second, I'll just show you the run button. See the run button. You can run it, but what I've done is I have connected it to my device itself using a USB. Like if you enable USB debugging on your device and you just connect it with a USB cable, you can run it on your device as well. And since emulator isn't working on mine, I'll run it on my device itself. So now I click on run. It's building. We can check the build here. Don't worry about all of this, like how it builds and all. You'll learn more about that later. So yeah, um, since I've already run it, so it doesn't show. But if you haven't already run it yet, on your phone you'll get an option to install. Like you get a notification asking to install the app and do that. Like if you're doing it right now, or else do that later. So I'll just show how it looks. See, like this is how it looks on the phone right now. You can change the colors and all to what you want. But yeah, this is how it looks. There's a text view in the middle and the name of the app. I've called it ASJ. You can call it anything you want, or you can just remove this whole thing. You can do many things. Okay, so now we can change this constraint layout to another view group. Let's say change it to linear layout. What linear layout means, you don't have constraints in all in linear layout. Linear layout basically means it's a view group where you can display content linearly. By linearly, it could either be vertically or horizontally. So now linear layout. Let's add another text view. See, let's call it text view. See, now you can see it's like displaying linearly one after the other. That's because by default its orientation is horizontal. So now if I change this orientation to vertical, as you can see, now it's like showing both the views vertically. One, the first one on the top and the second on the bottom. So that is linear layout. Uh, Another thing, if you want to, right, you can go to design and add views from here itself. Let's say this is a palette where you can search for different kind of views you want to add. Now let's say you want to add another text view. You click on text view and you drag it here. See, another text view got added. You can check the code for that here. We will call it text view 3. Now another thing, um, you can see this, right? There's some specific attribute called ID added here. ID means this text view now has an ID such that you can identify it somewhere else. I'll show you why you need ID later, but let's just add IDs for all of them. ID, um, text view, text view. Okay. So that is that. Now, what you can do is you can format these text views to however you want. Um, let's say let's say you want a margin. Okay, let's say you want to increase the size, size to, yeah, uh, yeah, but yes, ST is like what do you say, unit of measurement here. So as you can see, the text is increased, the size. Size. Okay. Or you can see size is increased for all of them. Another thing you can do is add margin. Margin means it leaves a gap after, like I'll just show adding some margin. Okay, let's say layout margin. Um, 16 dp is another unit of measurement. Like for text sizes and all, we generally use sp, and for all this margin kinds of stuff, we use dp. As you can see, right, it leaves a margin of 16 dp everywhere. On the top, left, right, and bottom, it leaves this much amount of margin. I can like same thing here as well. And so that, and there's another attribute called padding. If you say padding is equal to 16 dp, so you can see the difference, right? Margin leaves space outside of its boundary. Here, padding leaves space inside of its boundary. So inside of the text view, it leaves like 16 dp space all over, and then it shows the text. You can add that for others as well, and there also it's going to be the same. So, so that is layouts. Um, we'll do what they mentioned in the code labs. Like it's just like an about me app or something. So like we, they have done like an app similar, something like this. So we'll just do that. It's pretty simple, but yeah, for that you need only one text view. Uh, its size you can keep it like 20, I guess, you know, 20 padding, and in a line. And, not sorry. You can make the width transparent, and then you can align text or something. Because this is the whole width, and the text will be aligned to the center. And you can see they've added a name. Next, what they've done is they added an image like a star here, but we don't have a star now. Just add an image that's already there. Yeah, to add an image, it's called image view. Yeah. So for the image, we could either give like wrap content, which means it will wrap, or it will be the size of the image which we have, but like we'll define a size for the image ourselves, something like 24 dp. That'll be too small, 30 dp. And we'll put the height as well, 30 dp. And this is the closing tag, where like this is the opening tag. Like I mean, this is the opening, this is the tag, and this is the closing tag. We'll give this an ID, image view, and let's see. How an image view. So you're adding an image view, and then they have added stuff that's text here. So with this. Now to add the actual image, we use something called SRC. SRC is like source, and since we don't have, not adding, like we don't have an image right now, we'll just use some images already there in the Android Studio itself. So this is an image which is already there. It's there in the Android Studio itself. You can see small one. Or you can add any image you want, but since that we don't have that any image right now, we'll be just using some images already there. Like, and that image is located here at map. I see also. Map is in resources, right? Here in map, you have this image. So we're just using that for now, but you can use any image you want. Next, after this, after the image, there's like a description kind of thing. So we'll do that. We'll add a description. So like by now you would have known, like, since this is text, you need to use text view for that. So let's see if it's content, content. And yeah, we can like just copy this, the same kind of thing we used here. Let's see. Yeah, and now for the text, right? We can do something like this. Okay, see. So now this is like a feature in Android Studio. Um, as you've seen here, right, in resources, in values, there's a thing called strings. Here you can store different string values you want. Like for example, here there's one string value stored. String name is your app name, ASG. ASG is the app name, and it's stored like a string value. Right? You can store different kind of string values you want. So now here I've put like text, Android text is equal to at string. So at this strings thing, the name of this string is description, but you can see there's only one string here, and the name of that is app name. So if I write app name, there's no error because it is there, and you can see here ASJ as well. But now if I write description, it shows an error because there is no string with the name description. What Android Studio has is it has a feature like when there's an error, it displays like a bulb, red bulb with the exclamation mark, and if you click on it, it gives you like possible solutions you can use to clear this error. So now here I have a solution C, like create string value resource description. If I click on this, it shows creating string value resource, like new string value resource. Basically, this means that I'll be creating a resource here, and value of that, let's put only description for now. Description. Click on this, okay, and there's no error because it created a string with description, right? As you can see, like Android gives you a way so that, like, if there's an error, it gives you some possible solution so that it's easy for you to like figure out what to do. Now instead of description, let's add some very big string. big stuff, right? Like this whole thing. Just copy that. So now we check over here and get things like this. Wait, I don't think all this hash slashes are working, but yeah, as you can see, you get somewhat like this. There's a big description of all of that. Now, let's run it. And one more thing here, right? Like, see, you can see two buttons. If your app is already running on your device or on your emulator, you can see, you won't see run, but you'll see two buttons. What app, what this means is apply changes and restart activity. So this one, it won't like close your app and open it again. Run app, what this does is it closes the app which is already open, and then it runs it again. So we'll just do this thing, apply changes. So it's building. Again, all of this you don't have to worry about. Just like build stuff. You'll get more familiar with it as you go on. Anyway, like till then, if you have any doubts, you can ask. Okay, if you don't have any doubts, fine. It's like a little slow right now, so sorry about that. Yeah, so go here and you can see. See, so this is how the app looks right now. Since we added all the description and all that, but you can see here one thing. Uh, the text like it's more than the more than the screen size, and you cannot scroll down to see what there is. So for that, what we can do is I scroll to much better, much better. Oh. So as the name suggests, right, scroll view, it creates like a scrollable view where wherein if something overflows your screen size, you can have like a scrollable thing so that you can go down and see what there is. So let's build this and see. Okay, so it's done. So now you can see that I can scroll down and up. Like you can see the scroll bar there. Before it wasn't there, now I can scroll up and down. You can see that kind of thing which comes when you try and scroll down more, and it's there. And down also you can scroll down further below. That is that. Um, you is adding and edit text like with sometimes people like some input, right? The user needs to give some input, so that you can do by with an edit text, sorry, not added. um okay, let's say After this image view, there's an edit text. Uh, that's transparent and have content. Edit text, right? I mean, like by the name, you know that uh, this means like some kind of edit text. I mean, it's not like editing text. It means you'll have like a bar where you can type in text. So let's just make it more visible. Call it edit text. An ID called edit text. So we'll give this an ID called edit text, and what else can we do? Okay. We'll put like a margin. Uh, Horizontal means the margin is only to in the horizontal side, not vertical. Vertical as well. Vertical margin very deep. You can see like a bit more clear. Something like a line where you can type in input. Let's say you can see right. It gives you a hint on what you'll have to do. You might have seen some apps, many apps basically, like something like this, where you can type in text and you have like a transparent thing telling you what to type in. It just goes away after you start typing. So that is hint. Um, I think that is enough for now. If you run it now, it's running. Sorry, it's slow. Oh, okay, okay. Done. See, now you can see there's like a thing to type in whatever you want. See, when you click on it, it highlights, gives you a cursor, and opens a keyboard. So let's type in anything, and you can see that. Now, if I just erase it, again you get the hint back. So now what we'll do is we'll write code such that it takes in this input and displays it somewhere. Okay, so now for this, we'll go back to main activity KT. Now from here, from here you can access these views. So first, okay, we'll add like a thing to display this text as well. Display the nickname. Text view. Uh, let's wrap content ID. Name, text. Like copy some of the style used. So now important thing is see the nickname text, right? Before giving your nickname, it should not be visible, right? Like only after you given your nickname, then only this text should be visible. So we have this option called visibility. Click on that, and there are three kind of things. Visible means it's visible. Invisible means uh, visible means it's visible, right? Now if I click on invisible, like if there's some text here, or let's say anything, you cannot see it here because it's invisible. Or if it's visible, you can see that nickname. Invisible, you cannot see that, but what you see here is there is some space allocated to it. There is some space allocated to it, but you cannot see. Now if we use gone, we cannot see and the space allocated to it is gone as well. So yeah, that is the use of gone. And since we want this itself, we'll use gone. Like we won't display anything until the user has given his nickname. Now we'll add another thing. Like this is something, some other view we have. We call it button. And again, as the name suggests, it's like a button. You've seen many apps already which has a button and stuff. So you know what that is. Let's call this give this button an ID. Um, button. Let's give it some text to display like text. Oh, sorry. Android text. Android text. What can we call it? Like now to display in the center. Right? I mean, I guess since instead of doing displaying it for all of this, you can like add something in linear layout itself, such that it displays. There's some error here. Okay, that's a main activity. So if you have something like uh, let's say gravity, and you click on center, like if we add this in linear layout, what this does is all this children view which is there inside linear layout, all of this, it centers them. Because if you add this Android gravity as center to a linear layout, it centers all of these views like this. You can see that everything is in center now, and it looks very better. And of button, I will just put like a little margin vertical. So what we are doing right now is you click, give your nickname, and you click on this button, then only it displays your nickname. So we'll do something like that. What we need to do first is access all of these elements. So we need to get access to this edit text, right? Edit text, and we do that using your ID. So while edit text is equal to, there's something called find view by ID. And here we need to type in the type of what we're identifying. Since we're typing in edit, since we're edit text, we'll type the type as edit text. And here we need to write the ID of this edit text. And all this IDs, right? It's stored in resources, and uh, R basically means resources. R dot ID dot edit text. We call it edit text. R dot ID dot edit text. Now you have uh, now you have like an object of this edit text, and you can do whatever you want with it. Similarly, we'll get in the button as well. Button find ID button dot ID dot nickname button. Since we call that nickname button. Another thing is the one where we're actually displaying anything. That is a text view. .id dot index. So now we have all three of them, and we can do whatever we want with it. With that, so the first thing we'll have to do is when the user clicks on the done button, right? So button, dot, we can do something like set on click listener. As the name suggests, uh, they are doing something where like we click on the button and we're setting like what action should happen when somebody's clicked on the button. So set on click listener. First, what we'll do is we'll get the name which was written in the edit text. So that we use val edit text dot text. So now what this does is whatever the text is that is typed in an edit text, it stores in another variable called nickname. Next thing what we need to do is we need to not display no that that is not required. What we need to do is this nickname text, right? We need to set this text nickname dot text is equal to nickname. Again, nickname text is a text view, and we're setting the text value for that, and that would be this variable itself, nickname. Next, what we can do is we need to make this visible, right? Nickname dot visible. Sorry, nickname dot text. Nickname text dot visibility is equal to view dot on. View is like a class. In that class, you have this gone system. You've seen what gone does, right? Gone just removes, makes it invisible and removes the space allocated to it as well. And we don't need gone, we need visible. So it does that. Now let's see how that works. Done. So 1 second. It's running. Yeah. So now this is how it looks. You have the edit text and button. Let's say I type in some name right now. So I've typed in something. I now I'm clicking on the done button. I don't think you can see that. I've clicked in that, and now you can see there's a text we added with the name of whatever it is. Now let's say I change it to something else, and if I click on done again, you can see that. So that is that. Um, okay, so we have like a little time left, and I'll show you how to like navigate between activities. Now we can change some other stuff in this as well. Like what they have done is in the course, what they've done is once you've displayed this text nickname text, they have made the edit text and the button also disappear, and you can do that by just like uh, changing the visibility here as well. Like here you can put in like edit text dot visibility is equal to view dot con and button dot visibility is equal to view dot con, and they would also disappear. Oh, just a second, things have gone again. Okay, so we leave that as it is, and you can do that if you want later on. But now what I'll show you is how to navigate between activities. Let's say, hmm, I'll remove this all of this except the activity. Remove this as well. We will add a button though. Button, wrap content, ID, let's call it button activity, and text will put go to the second activity. And instead of calling this one, let's call this activity. So activity is like a like I mean you can imagine it for now. It's like a little bit more complex than that, but for now you can imagine it like one screen of your app, right? And you want to go to another screen. So that is what like go to second activity means. But we'll add this functionality now. For that, first here we'll add a new activity. We'll add new activity, and we'll do empty activity first. Let's call it second activity and finish. And that is second activity created. Now what we are doing is just a second. It's building after that. Just a second. Yeah. This is taking some time. Can you able to start before that all that happens? Okay. So what we are doing is once you click on this button, it goes to the second activity. So in activity 2, there's nothing here. Let's add a text view, app content, ID, text, text, second. constraints, right? Because it's constrained layout, it's compulsory to add constraints. So we can do that using code, or we can do it using design as well. Let's say this is constraint activity. Now, with this, if I like drag it here, that means I've added a constraint to the bottom. Now, if I drag it to the top, I've added the constraint to the top. Or I drag it here, and I drag it here. So that means I've added all the constraints. Like, come and see here, all of these are added. Or we just do some formatting as well from there. So come over to main activity. While button is equal to give ID button or ID dot uh, button activity. You call you call this button activity. So we're accessing that here. Now button dot set one click listener. We need to go to the second activity, right? And to do that, we use something called intent. Intent. Okay. Intent. This is a variable. Intent is equal to intent. This is a class, and we're creating an object to that. See here, what you need first is you need your current activity. Like you need a instance of your current activity. That is the main activity. And to do that, if you're like familiar with C++ a little, like with Java, you use something called this. Now here we write the activity where we want to go. So that would be second activity, right? Second activity. But we don't need the activity, we need like the class of second activity. And for that, also if you're familiar with like C++, there's something like this, right? Use as a Java. Which uh, means is that when you call this intent, it goes from this, that is your current activity, to the second activity. Or let's say to do that, you do something like there's this function called start activity, and you pass an intent. Now we'll add a button here as well, just to come back to first activity. Call it second activity. Go to first activity, and it shows an error, as you can see, because we haven't added constraints yet. But let's do that. Constraint bottom to bottom of will add parent. Constraint start to start of parent. See, you've seen like left, right? So what start means, start, like starting of the screen. Sometimes like what happens with left is, right, let's say you're like twisting your screen. I mean, twisting your screen in the sense like you change the orientation, like from portrait mode you go into landscape mode. That time the left and right may change. So instead of that, we use something like start and end of the screen. End to end of means like end of the screen. It's like an alternative to left and right. Now here for constraint top, instead of parent, right, we'll constrain it to the to that text view. So how to do this is constraint top to bottom of ID. See, the ID of the text view is second activity text, right? We write second activity text, and now this is constrained to this and this. And see here, we've added like we wrote constraint top to bottom of. That means we're constraining top of this button to the bottom of this text view. So that is one way of doing that. Uh, we'll remove this simply, and like so that will add like margin top of like this. So it looks something like this. It's only constrained to this, and it's constrained to those and those, but nothing. You don't have anything down. Anyway, second activity will do something like this itself. Normally, it's best if you write it for your, like write it again, but since no time, just copying stuff. We called it button second activity. Now again, right? What we want here to do is we want it to go to first activity from second activity. So here this indicates second activity, and here we need to write in the first activity. That is main activity. Now start activity intent. So that's all. Like if you run it now, you'll see that. Okay. So that is done. Hmm. I'll show you that now. It's going to look. Now I'm pressing on the button. Like you can't see, so I just say this. Um, See, now that I press on the button, it goes to second activity. Now if I click on go to first activity, it goes to the first activity. It's more smooth, but because of this meat and all, you cannot see it that clearly. Like if you try it for yourself, if you try it for yourself, you can see like it's a little bit more smoother than what you're actually seeing it. So that was changing activities. You can send data as well between these two activities, and for that you use the bundle. Not showing that now, but yeah, there's a option to send data as well from like one activity to the other activity. And yeah, like that's all for this session, I think. Like keep on doing those code labs. Uh, Labs, right? The first page I shared you. Keep on doing those. And yeah, again, like next session we'll have next week most probably. And like till then, if you, I mean, right now, if you have any doubts, you can ask.
You can also speak up if you want. I'll just add you on the screen. Uh, I think we have a doubt.
Yeah, okay. What's the difference between constraint layout and linear layout? Like, okay, see, like in constraint layout, what it is compulsory that each of the children views we have inside that inside the constraint layout, each of them needs to have a constraint. Uh, I can just share it once, share the screen once and show you once again. So each of them they need to have a constraint like to something. There's no like position, right? Like there's no fixed position for it. It gives an error if there's no constraint. As you can see, the second activity it's constrained like this. First activity is constrained like this. I mean, this button is constrained like this. Second activity here is constrained like this. We use this so that we can give like a we can assign specific positions to each of the views we want. Like let's say you want some text here, you want something else below it, you want something else next to it, you want something else to the right side of it. You we add constraint layout so that we can get that easier, right? Like what if we want something like a text view here and two images to the left and right of it, using constraint layout it's kind of easier to get, right? Like if we constrain this image to this text view and this image to this text view, whenever like this text view is kind of moving, this others also, like since they're constrained to it, they're also affected. Like you get a picture, right? Somewhat. So now, as you can see here, right, this go to first activity is constrained to second activity. So now, if I want to move this second activity down, you don't have to move this one again. Like it will move as the second activity moves down. See now, for second activity, we remove this constraint. Second activity, we remove this top to parent, so that include like a margin bottom of, sorry, not this way. This. You can see since this button is kind of constrained with this text view, so whenever we're changing stuff for this text view, this also gets changed because it's constrained to this. So now, since for this text view, if we add like if we're bringing this down by some distance, what's happening here? Something is wrong. You cannot see it here, but you can see it on the app. So what we're doing is, like you can see, right? Since there's constraint to this, everything you, uh, any changes you do here, it's kind of happens to this as well. But for linear layout, there's no constraint like that. You have to like fix positions for this and this in like a different ways. Here, what we've done is gravity center, right? That means whatever you're adding, it's kind of fitting to the center. It kind of fits itself to the center. But if you like want to fix this one of this here, one of that here, and all of that, it is much easier to do using constraint layout. Like for some apps you might have seen, like it has like a add button here or something if you want to add something. So for all of that, you can like constrain it to the bottom here and here with some margin. You can do that using linear layout as well. Like basically you can do anything using any layout. It's just like for some things constraint layout comes easier, and for something linear layout comes easier. There are other layouts as well called relative layout, coordinated layout and all, and again those come in handy for something else. But ultimately, like, you can display anything using any layout. So like, did it get clear? You still uh, have something else? Okay.
Any more? We can wait for 1 minute more, I guess.
Also, like next week we'll probably have more sessions, uh, like more into navigation, like how can you send data and all of that, and then I'll introduce fragments and stuff. But like again, once if it's possible, then we can have an offline session later at some point of time, and then it'll be like a little bit more easier.
Okay, I think I think we don't have any more questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can end the event now, I think.
Yeah. Right. Bye.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Abhinav bhai.
Bye.
Okay, I think. Okay, okay, no question. Huh. Aditya added in the question and answer.